Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the Alpha Life here. We are moving on with our Caldari destroyers, and this time around we're going to be taking a good look at the beautiful Cormorant, a ship I really like and I really enjoy. It's like the vertical version of the Galante destroyer, which name I just forgot, but yes, it's a great little ship, a great destroyer that I really love using it. Just look at that skin, look at that ship. I don't know why, but I just enjoy it. So let's take a good look at what we're going to be doing with this ship and how are we going to be using it. Some of you might already know, yes, lowsec belt rating. That's right. So this is thought to be a very easy to start fit. As you can see, no CPU problems, no power grid problems, some capacitor problems, but you will see how we deal with those a little bit later. And considering that this character has lower skills than the Galante character, yes, it does a lot less damage. But let's move on to the fit itself. Of course, remember, this is a younger character, so yeah, it does less damage. That's the important part. So let's move on to the high slots. Let me just put you the list here and ignore the cargo hold because I have been ratting already and well, it's full of stuff, so do not pay attention to that part. Let's start up in the high slots with 7 Moda-liked Electron particle accelerator ones. Why? Because they are supremely cheap. Supremely cheap. They are probably some of the cheapest guns you can buy, and well, that's the main reason why we're going to use them, because we use a lot of guns in this fit and we want to have them very cheap. Can you upgrade them? Yes, you absolutely can. And well, while this is thought out to be for beginners, you can definitely go to some other kinds of guns. So electrons are the cheapest and they are the ones that do the least amount of damage and they have the least amount of range. Ions are the next step, but they also consume more CPU or power grid. And the last ones and the best ones are the Neutron blasters. So if you want to get the most and you have pretty good skills, I would recommend you go to Neutrons. If you're still training along your skills, go for light ion blasters. But if you're starting out, I do recommend the Electron ones. That's what I used for this video, mainly to demonstrate that you can start lowsec belt rating pretty early on and without much of a budget, without much of a problem, and you can absolutely do it. So also in the high slots we're going to be using one Arbalest rocket launcher one. Well, we get this one from killing all the rats, so you're eventually going to get one. I recommend you use it. It bumps up your damage just a little bit. You know, 13 DPS is always appreciated. Next up in the mid slots, we're going to move to a 5mn cold gas enduring Microwarpdrive. Why enduring? So that it consumes a little bit less capacitor, because we don't have any CPU or power grid problems. We want to give that extra help to our capacitor because it is really going to need it. Then a small clarity ward enduring shield booster. Oh, this is why we have capacitor problems. Yes, indeed, that's why. Well, I just like being able to jump from one belt to the next without having to wait for my shields to recharge. Even though shields recharge passively, I don't like waiting for them. I know it's probably not the best. I'm not the best shield pilot, to be honest, but well, that's what I prefer using, and you just need to be a little bit careful how you're going to be using it. Sometimes you will have to turn it off. Fortunately, you will already be on your 500-meter orbit by that time. And then we're going to move to a small compact PV acid cap battery. Again, we get them from rats, technically for free, so that is going to be just great. In the low slots, we're going to go to 2 magnetic field stabilizer ones, again, for beginners. But can you upgrade? Yes, absolutely. Go for Vortex compact magnetic field stabilizers. They will be much better. Of course, we move on finally to the rigs. We have 2 small capacitor control circuits one and 1 small hybrid collision accelerator one to help us bump that damage a little bit higher. Now, if you're going to be using the ion or neutron blasters, I would recommend you change this one and these ones to compact, to Vortex compact ones, and this one to something else, depending on what the fit requests of you. Now, let's go to the pricing, because that's one of the most important parts of a lowsec belt rating ship, being able to trade it in, so to speak, early on, and being able to afford more of them. So, as you can see, 4 million ISK, it's not exactly on the cheap side. As you can see, one very high part of the cost is the small hybrid collision accelerator one and the Arbalest rocket launcher. But consider that we got the Arbalest technically for free just by killing some other rats. So this one we looted, this one we do need to buy, or you could also manufacture them, but that will mainly require you to run level 3 missions. So if you're just starting out, consider buying it. If you're not sure, go for the upgrade for the Ion Blasters, train your skills a little bit better, go to Vortex Compact Magnetic Field Stabilizers and ditch the Hybrid Collision Accelerator, change it for a Shield Extender Rig or something like that. But this is again fit mainly for beginners. So let's go on out there because, well, let's watch the recordings because I have already been out there and let's see how well we did. Unfortunately, we are actually doing this during the winter event. As you can see, Winter Nexus is currently active, so that means there is a lot of people in lowsec systems, and I did spend a good amount of time just warping around from lowsec to lowsec trying to get a place with less than 10 people in it. And fortunately, we were able to get a system like that, well, 2 of them, but it does take a while. So do take that under consideration. If you're doing your normal activities during events, I do recommend you instead run the events just because it'll be easier, because you will find so much people. Of course, they will not disturb you during your activities mostly, but you're never sure. And, well, that's a risk you're gonna have to think about whether if you take or you don't. So, yes, let's go out there into lowsec and watch those recordings. So we have finally found a system where we could do some lowsec belt ratting at, and I'm just gonna sort out my belts, and we're gonna be really careful with the discount because this one has again 1 person in local. Apparently in Caldari space we have been unable to just get a lowsec system that's properly empty. I'm sure there probably are some, but I haven't been able to find them. So, well, I have already searched for this person in Seth Guildboard, and so far it doesn't seem that they would be a problem for us. So we're just gonna start up our run because, well, unfortunately, because there is a winter event going on, well, there is a lot of people in lowsec running sites. I just went through certain lowsec pockets that had like 30 people in, 30 players, and a lot of them in the gate, and when I saw them, my heart stopped. But, well, it is what it is. That's the way of lowsec, and, well, fortunately we were able to make it out alive. Apparently, as you can see on the discount, this person will be an explorer, so we should be alright. Although I should indeed make a save just in case. You know, it's always a very good practice if you're gonna be spending a little bit of time in a lowsec system to just bookmark a save. You know, start your warp, and when you're mid-warp, just boom, save. That's it. And that, I think, was actually a very good spot because it will be fairly close to all the gates. So there is another one. 3 years, okay. Federal Defense Union. Okay. So we have 2 cruisers. Let's go get them, while maintaining our very much careful nature with the D-scan. Unfortunately, because, ooh, we better go for this one first. But because we are in a destroyer, our signature radius is going to be slightly bigger than the frigate one. So yeah, we're gonna take more damage from the incoming missiles, particularly because missiles are a little bit tougher to deal with. Just because of that, because, well, we cannot just get under their guns because their missiles will always apply. That's the thing about missiles, but if we go faster, they will apply a little bit less. But it was either put on a big afterburner or actually make this feat usable. So yeah, we went with the blasters and shield and Microwarpdrive, and so far it's not doing that bad. Let's do only 1 cycle for the Microwarpdrive, and as you can see, it's the exact same strategy that we have been using for absolutely all of our writing sessions. It's fairly simple, fairly easy, I really do recommend it, and, well, with this one we will be able to see whether or not it's actually worth running these lowsec belt ratting sessions in Caldari space. Another option you could actually do is go a little bit farther into Galente space, which we have seen is a lot easier because the rats don't have missile launchers and, well, because they also don't use tracking disruptors. So that is really, really going to be a big bump in how easy it'll be to actually run these belts and how easy it'll be to kill a lot of rats, get a lot of loot, and just keep on moving. Okay, so we have an Imicus in this scan, another explorer. He says storage. I don't believe it. He probably is either bait or something else. If a ship has a name that is like, okay, that doesn't sound so bad, it probably is. It probably is a lot worse than you would expect it to be. So yeah, we get some anarchists, so let's go get them. Well, we are... Oh, he's gone. I didn't check the local. Let's see. Okay, finally, we get some action. And, well, the thing about 0.4s and why I don't particularly like ratting in 0.4s is because there aren't that many rats and the rewards aren't that good usually, but, well, what can we do? It is what we get, and in Caldari space I don't really feel very comfortable just going deep into lowsec space to search for a 0.1 or 0.2. And I still don't think, because of the missile thing, I do not believe that this ship would fare better in any of those than it does here. So I'm gonna get a little bit closer. Well, that's it for this system, so I'm going to quickly cut the video here and go to another system that I have selected. Of course, remember our video, another one of my ratting videos, we take a good look at how to select systems. I usually go to resource harvesting, so I really would recommend that method, but since we have already spoken about it, I would recommend you watch some of my other lowsec belt ratting videos so that you can give yourselves a good idea. And, well, this one has 10. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go to that one. So yeah, I'll cut the video here and see you guys back in another belt system. So we are in the 10 bolted 0.3 lowsec system, and, well, we're gonna start ratting a bit. I'm gonna speed up a little bit this part, and when we get something worth commenting on, we will get to that. So that fight we just saw, you might have seen that I actually did struggle a little bit just because of that target disruption. Those targeting jammers, they are really, really strong, especially if you're going against multiple foes. Using them, as you could see, I was locked into one that was trying to target disrupt me, and then the other actually got the lock on. So yeah, not the best situation, but we were able to pull it off without much of a problem. So let's move on to the next belt. We reload our shields a little bit, and yeah, let's keep on moving. So, as you just saw right there, we were able to. Well, it did take us a little bit of time to take down a battleship, but not much of an issue. Just, of course, we need to be careful with our capacitor because that shield booster will definitely empty us out. And, well, that's mainly what we need to be careful about. Other than that, I would say we didn't have much of a problem. And if you can take the smaller rats first while you're already under the orbit of the big battleship, do consider doing that. I took one out and I was able to tank the rest of the damage without much of a problem at all. So, yeah, absolutely okay. I mean, I think the Catalyst was able to take down battleships faster, but I do believe that's because my skills on that character, on the Galente character, were a lot higher than they are on this one. So yeah, so far we are doing all right. The loot though is not looking quite so nice. So well, let's try to get something good. And of course, if you ever see a Gurista Saboteur, make sure you take that one first. Those are really, really annoying and they are the root of all your problems. So yeah, if you lose luck, it'll be because of this guy. So if we can take him down before anything else, that's what we're gonna want to do. So yeah, I'm gonna speed this part again. So, yeah. So I think that actually concludes our belts for this run. And as you can see, well, the loot isn't exactly impressive, I would say, but well, this has been only 0.4s and 0.2s, so well, I don't know what to think of it. Oof, 10 jumps away. That's the shortest route? Shorter. Still 10 jumps away. Okay. But yeah, the Cormorant can definitely do it, even though I would recommend if you definitely want to do lowsec belt routing with as a Kaldari character, I would recommend you to cross-train into Galente destroyers so that you can run either the Catalyst or the Algos. I think they are really worth it. Uh, so yeah, take that under consideration, or at least go down a little bit into Galente lowsec space and take down those rats. They will be a lot easier, and they do give you those 4 million ISK modules that have been the bread and butter of a few of the series that we've been doing so far. Every single lowsec space has had its thing, but I believe Galente provides the most of those. Well, Galente and I think Caldari it was. Amar mainly gives you IFIA damage controls, which are also really good, but they are only 1 million each. And well, I do believe that the 4 million ISK modules provided in Galente lowsec is definitely worth the trip, but that's what I believe. So please do take that under consideration. I'm sorry if this one has been a shorter video compared to the other belt routing videos, but well, that's what we get for trying to do it. Well, I have been trying to record for quite I think about 2 hours now, just hunting around for a good lowsec system to rat. Unfortunately, I haven't lost my ship. This is still the first ship I got exactly for this episode, but well, yeah, it does take a little bit of a while to find somewhere to do lowsec belt ratting in Caldari space, especially if you're close to Jira. Do consider getting away from Jira as far away as possible, and I think that will be your best strategy. Just getting far away from Jira, because well, that can really make things a little bit complicated. But yeah, as you can see, with a few going out, you can pay for another Cormorant, and for this Cormorant it can rapidly pay for itself because it's really cheap. Let's take another look at that cost real quick. So let's simulate the fit, let's remove everything. It's around 4 million ISK. So what does that mean? That means in about 4 runs we are going to be making this money back. Or if we go to Galente lowsec, we will be able to do it with only one Omega module, 4 million ISK module, which I think is really nice. So I really would recommend you actually, because the Cormorant is a really good ship. I really enjoy it. It's different from what I am used to, and I think it's really fun just watching those blasters and those rockets flying around to the enemies. I think that's the best part, and I love the way it looks. So if you definitely want to fly a Cormorant, but you want to be able to pay for it and for the next one as fast as possible, I would indeed recommend you try going to the Galente lowsec space and try to find some lowsec belt routing systems over there. How can you do this? Well, if you go over here to the map, of course, stay away from the forge. This is where Jira is. And, well, you don't want to be anywhere near that. So, we are going to, this is Amar, this is Galente. Okay, so Galente. Let's see. There we go. 0.4 Galente Federation. Not that far away. Of course, in the opposite direction of where we are currently, but here are some other closer ones. Caldari, Galente. See? Caldari, Galente. So the good thing is that Caldari and Galente are on borders with each other. That's why mostly faction warfare happens between those two. But that is actually great, because if you want to be able to afford your Cormorant rather fast, and still be able to take advantage of that kinetic damage that blasters do, because they do a lot of damage, well, I would recommend you actually take a little bit of a trip into Galente space and have some fun with that, at least until your Cormorant is paid for, and then you can absolutely try to move along with other things. Now, for the next episode, we're going to do a little bit of combat exploration, not a lot. It'll be one of the fastest videos so far, just because, well, Caldari Space is really bad for beginners trying to do some combat exploration. So let's move on to that. And, well, since I am recording this while the Winter Nexus event is starting, well, I think I'm going to release this video a little bit late, but I hope you have had very good, very nice holidays. So, guys, thank you also very much for watching. Remember, if there is any feats you would like me to try, anything at all, or any ships or any activities, please do let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know what do you think about my editing. I have been changing a few things recently. Of course, do not consider the Caldari series because, well, that's mostly my annoyance with how full of people Caldari Space is. But other than that, please do let me know what do you think about my audio and video quality and what could I do to improve it. Also, any comments at all, please do let me know. And for someone that I believe commented on one of these skins, these are the Aurora Universalis skins, and they come out in the winter event, so I do recommend you run them. Of course, this video is probably going to catch you a little bit late since I record about a month in advance, but, well, yeah, get them. You can get them from the markets. I recommend Jira because they are the cheapest ones. And yeah, thank you also very much for watching, everyone. This has been the Alpha Life, and I will see you all in the next one.